Hey guys, Mr. T here. This is not a video. This one is a solutions video to the 2018-11 General Maths Practice Shares test. Last test for the year. So let's make it a good one. So the first question. Arnie wants to buy 24,000 shares in LookSmart for 12 cents each. Should he deal with the broker charging 1.2% brokerage or go through the net with brokerage at $32 per trade? So I'm going to split this up into two calculations, 1.2% brokerage on this side and the $32 brokerage on this side. So, in buying shares, there's three parts. The consideration, that's 24,000 times by 12 cents, and that's going to be 28.80. Brokerage, and you're adding it when you're buying, is going to be 1.2%. So 0.012 is 1.2% as a decimal times by the consideration of 28.80. That comes to $34.56. And in the buying calculation, you add GST. GST is 10%, so 0.1 times by the $34.56 brokerage. So that's $3.46 rounded to 2 decimal points. So you add them all up. 6 plus 6, 12, 9, 10, 5, 8, 11, 9, 2. $29.18.02, $32 brokerage. So the consideration is still going to be $28.80, but this time the brokerage is going to be $32, and the GST is going to be $3.20. So you could answer the question already because you can compare that and that, but I'm going to go all the way through because this is a good way to show you how to do a buying calculation. 0, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 8, 9, 2. So, based on this information, $29.15.20 is cheaper than $29.18.02. Therefore, Arnie should trade over the net because it's cheaper overall to buy his shares. Hank sells 1,400 shares in Ridley Corp for $1.53 each and 28.70 shares in Tap Oil for $1.94 each. How much does he get overall from these transactions if brokerage is 2% plus GST? So he is selling. So these are sell calculations. So there's two parts to it again. Ridley over here and Tap over here. When selling, it's still consideration. So it's 1,400 shares in Ridley at $1.53 each. That comes to $21.42. Brokerage. You are. It's an X. You are taking brokerage. Keep switching to the lightsaber. Move. Alright, subtract the brokerage. The brokerage was 2%. 0.02 is 2% as a decimal. 2% of 21.42 is $42.84, and you minus the GST, which is 10% of the brokerage, which was $42.84. That comes to $4.28. You're subtracting them, remember, and that comes to $20.94.88. So that's the return from selling for Ridley. TAP. The consideration was $28.70 times by $1.94. That comes to $5,567.80. The brokerage was 2%, so 0.02 times by $5,567.80. That comes to $111.36. And then GST is 10%, 0.1 of the brokerage, $101.36. That comes to $11.14. So you're subtracting these again because it's the return from selling calculation. So that comes to $5,445.30. It's asking how much you received altogether. Therefore, altogether, $20.94.88 plus $5,445.30. That comes to $7,540.18 altogether for those two companies' shares selling them. Alright, so that is the first page done. Moving on to the next page. So this is a reading share listings question. So basically you need to just spot the numbers properly. If you can't do this, I don't know how to help you. So make sure you're looking properly. How many AMP shares were traded? Question A. So AMP is the top row. Why? Because it's there. I'm looking for how many shares were traded. So I'm looking for the volume. And remembering it's in hundreds. So write down the number that it says, 28,750, but it's in hundreds, so I have two more zeros. So it's 2,875,000 shares traded in AMP. Alright, that's the first one. What was the closing price and movement of ERG shares? Well, ERG is here. What was its closing price? Closed at 23 cents. Moved up because it's plus 2 cents from previous day, because the move tells you how much it moved by up or down since last close. What was the closing price of ERG on the previous day? Well, you just worked out it moved up since yesterday. So yesterday it would have been down by 2 cents. So 0.23 minus 0.02 is going to be 0.21. Therefore, at 0.21 yesterday. Detail the previous year's high-low prices for AMP. So looking at AMP, you're looking for the year high and the year low. Therefore, last year's high was $15.67. Last year's low was $10.14. What were the highest and lowest prices paid for AMP on the day? So we're still looking at AMP. Highest and lowest prices paid for AMP on the day. So we're looking for the sales. So highest was $12.05. Lowest was $11.81. Discuss the buy-sell bids for AMP by the close of trading. So usually these are like 2-mark, 3-mark questions. When it says discuss, you want to detail as much as possible without waffling. So highest bid was $11.75, shown here, because this was the highest people were willing to buy them for. Lowest selling offer was $11.92. So what can we conclude about that? Bids were quite different, were quite far from the sales high, the highest they sold for, the 1205. So likely there wasn't that much going on with them. You can see that there, the volume was quite low compared to ERG, so probably not many successful buys. Alright, describe the overall transactions and trading situations for ERG on this particular day. So looking at ERG closed up 2 cents from yesterday. And if you look at its price, which is like 23 cents, that's almost 10% up, so that's good. Heaps of interest in ERG. Where do I get that from? High volume, a lot of trades in it, and buy and sell bids were close to the sales highs and sales lows. So you can see here these two numbers were quite close, and they were also close to this. Were close to sales high and lows. So what does that suggest? People that were selling these shares were pretty much in agreement with the people bidding for them, and the highest that they sold for on that particular day was only like within 2 cents of what people were willing to buy. So there was going to be many successful buys and sells with this particular company, unlike AMP. Alright, next, question 4. Emma buys 1420 Lend-Lease shares for $11.32 each. What is the break-even price for these shares, assuming brokerage is 1.5%, GST is 10%. Brokerage is as a percentage, so your break-even price uses this particular formula. B is equal to 1. BEP is equal to B1 plus 1.1R, bracket, 1 take 1.1R. And what these letters stand for, B is equal to buy price, R is equal to the brokerage rate as a decimal. So do the substitutions. The borrowing price was $11.32, bracket 1 plus 1.1 times the brokerage rate was 1.5%, so that's 0.015 over 1 take 1.1 times by 0.015. So work out the top line, that comes to 11.50678 over the bottom line, that comes to 0.9835. Remember, you must do the inner brackets first, and then the outer brackets, and then times by 11.32 at the top. On the bottom line, 1.1 times by 0.015 first, and then take away that answer from 1, because the calculator gets confused by multiple times and divides, all in the same line of working. That comes to 11.70 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, break-even price of $11.70. So that's page 2 done. Moving on to page 3. So Brad bought 75,000 shares at 26 cents each. Notice that the share price rose to 39 cents each after 11 months. Broker advises him to wait for another month before selling. For this question, assume 2% brokerage, 10% GST, and Brad's marginal tax rate is 45%. Calculate Brad's taxable capital gain if he sells the shares after 11 months. So, this is kind of a multi-step question, but it doesn't look like it from the question itself. It tells you how much he bought them for. It tells you how much the share price went up to. And capital gain, you need to know the cost of buying and the return from selling. So you need to do two calculations to work this out. You need to work out what the capital gain is first. So the buy, we'll put over here. The consideration is 75,000 times by 0.26. That comes to 19,500. The brokerage, so adding the brokerage, 2% brokerage times by 19,500. That comes to $390 plus the GST, 10% of 390. That comes to $39. 9, 12, 9, 9, 1. Cost of buying the shares was $19,929. Sell. So he was selling his 75,000 shares this time for 39 cents. That comes to 29,250. Minusing the brokerage, which was 2% of 29,250. That comes to 585. Minus the GST, which is 10% of $585. That comes to $58.50. And all of that gives you a return from selling of $2,806.50. So the cap gain is the $2,806.50 minus 19929, which is equal to $8,677.50 capital gain. But what is his taxable capital gain? Shares held less than 12 months. Therefore, taxable cap gain is not half of your full capital gain, it is the whole cap gain. So taxable cap gain is equal to the cap gain, which was $86.77.50. So I'll draw an arrow there to just make it clear. Calculate Brad's taxable capital gain if he waits and sells the shares after holding them for more than 12 months. Well, shares held greater than 12 months, taxable cap gain is equal to a half of the cap gain, or 0.5 times by the capital gain. So what is a half of the capital gain? 0.5 times by $8,677.50. That comes to $4,338.75. Therefore, after 12 months, the taxable cap gain is that number, $4,338.75. How much better off will he be after tax if he takes his broker's advice? So what you need to decide here is how much tax he's going to have to pay the government in these two scenarios. Either hang on to the shares for less than 12 months or hang on to the shares for more than 12 months. So the capital gains tax for less than 12 months is going to be, and his marginal tax rate is 45%, so 0.45 times by his cap gain of $8,677.50, which is $39.04.88 to 2 decimal places. So your after-tax return, how much money he actually gets for less than 12 months holding the shares, is going to be his actual cap gain, the money that he's supposed to get, minus the capital gains tax for holding the shares for less than 12 months, which is $4,772.62. But the capital gains tax, if he held onto the shares for more than 12 months, is going to be 45%, so 0.45, times by the half capital gain because he held them for longer, so $4,338.75, which comes to $1,952.44 to 2 decimal points. So his after-tax return here for greater than 12 months holding on to the shares is, so this is where some people make a mistake. They take the 1952 here. That's a lightsaber again. Laser pointer. That's a big one. Sometimes they take the 1952 from this number, but remember, this is just a number representing what the government's looking at to tax you. This is how much money you're supposed to make from buying and then selling the shares as a capital gain. This number is just here to represent, well, this is what the government's going to look at to tax you. So you need to take $1952.44 from $8,677.50. So after-tax return is $8,677.50 minus $1952.44. That comes to $6,725.06. Therefore, better off by, well, he's getting a bigger after-tax return of $67.25.06 compared to his after-tax return, the other option of $4,772.62, which tells you that he's going to be $2,386.31 better off. Express Brad's after-tax capital gain after holding onto the shares for more than 12 months as a percentage of his original investment. So, what was his after-tax capital gain? 67.25. So, 67.25.06. What am I comparing it to? I'm comparing it to his original investment, which was 19,929, and to convert it to a percentage, times it by 100%, that comes to 33.75% cap gain after tax, and that is to 2 decimal points. Alright, so that is page 3, 2 more pages to go. Page 6, Aberfoyle Tech. So obviously I haven't been able to make this a Kanye test, but I've been busy with year 12s recently, and year 10, so you just have to deal with it. Aberfoyle Tech's tech company with a share capital of 1 million preference shares, par value of $1, 7% dividend rate, and it's made up of 6 million ordinary shares. The company makes a profit of $450,000 in a year. They set aside $50,000 for tax, $30,000 for asset replacement. The remainder is distributed to shareholders as dividends. Calculate the total profit to be distributed to shareholders as dividends. Well, they've got $450,000 original profit, but they're holding on to $50,000 for taxation. and 30,000 for asset replacement. So 450,000 minus 50,000 is going to be 400,000. Minus 30,000 is going to be 370,000 to distribute as dividends. Calculate the profit to be distributed to the preference shareholders. So this is where you use the formula total div for preference shareholders is the number of shares, so 1 million, times by the par value of 1, times by the dividend rate as a decimal of 0.07. That comes to $70,000. Must go to preference shareholders. What profit is left to be shared by the ordinary shareholders? Well, we worked out that 370,000 was going to be divided among all the shareholders. 70,000 of that was going to preference, so 370,000 minus 70,000 is going to be 300,000 to go to ordinary people, ordinary shareholders. Calculate a dividend per share to be paid to the ordinary shareholders. Well, the div per share, they're showing 300,000. And there are how many of them? 6 million. That comes to 5 cents each. Therefore, 5 cent div per share. If Carl is a shareholder in Aberfoyle Tech with 3,000 preference shares and 3,000 ordinary shares, what dividend will he receive? So this is an example of using these formulas for both a company and for an individual. Carl is an individual. His total div for his preference shares is 3,000 preference shares, times by the dollar par rate, times by the dollar par value, times by the 0.707 dividend rate. That comes to $210. $210, and I don't know why the heck I wrote it up there. So that's the answer to for the preference shares. That's the end of page 4. Page 5. Oh, here we go. For the ordinary shares. Well, total div for the ordinary shares, he had 3,000 ordinary shares, times by the dividend per share, which was 5 cents, so 0.05. So that comes to $150. So altogether, $210 plus $150 comes to $360 for his whole shareholding, preference and ordinary. So I think we're up to the last question, question 7. As an investor, Ellie has developed a share portfolio as shown below. Ellie checked the ASX website on day 1 and on day 2, found the market value of ANZ shares decreased by 1%. I'm going to underline that. Billabong remained static. Harvey Norman decreased by 2.1%. AGL increased by 3%. So your textbook doesn't ask you in this way, but we've gone over how you can use a multiplier in previous topics this year to increase something or decrease something by a certain percentage, right? So this question is not telling you what the share price is in day 2. It's giving you enough information to work out what the share price was. So I think that's the best place to start. For ANZ, the shares decreased by 1%. So if something decreases by 1%, it used to be 100%, it decreased by 1%, so it would be at 99%. 99% as a decimal is 0.99, so I want to know what 0.99 is of $31.95 to find the share price on day 2, which is $31.63. Billabong remains static, so I don't need to do any working out. It stayed at $19.90. Harvey Norman decreased by 2.1%. 100 minus 2.1 is going to be 97.9. So 97.9 as a decimal is 0.979. And you're timesing it by the $3.86 it used to be. So the share price on day 2 is going to be $3.78. AGL actually increased though. If something increases by 3%, it used to be 100%. Up by 3% is going to be 103%, and 103% as a decimal is 1.03 times by the $18.75 it used to be, and that comes to $19.31. So now we've got all the numbers we need to do our calculations. I'm going to put them in boxes here so it's a bit clearer what numbers I actually need to use. So, to find the value on day 1, I need to times the number of shares by the share price on day 1. Number of shares, share price on day 1. Multiply each. 32.50 times by $31.95. That comes to 103,837.5. 40.75 times by 19.90. 81092.5. 18,250 times by $3.86, 74.45. 1,000 times by 1875, 18750. So to find the aggregate market value on the first day, you add those all together vertically, and it comes to 274,125. The value at day 2. Now you are timesing this by the number here, and if I drew these arrows it would cover it all up, so you would just work your way down. 32.50 times by $31.63 comes to 102,797.5. 40.75 times by 1990 is exactly the same because the price didn't change. 18,250 times by 3.78 comes to 68985, and 1,000 times by 1931 is 19310. So the aggregate market value on day 2 is going to be these numbers all added together in the value day 2 column. That comes to 272,185. Find the percentage increase or decrease in the index from day 1 to day 2. So AMV2 is 272,185 minus AMV1, which was 274,125, divided by the original, which was 274,125, times by 100%, gives you the percentage increase or decrease. And that, just to check this, 272,185 minus 274,125 divided by 274,125 times by 100. That comes to negative 0.71 to 2 decimal places percent, which is a 0.71% decrease in the value of the share portfolio. So not very good. Calculate the index on day 2, given that the index had a value of 1,500 points on day 1. So this is where I was talking about the arbitrary scoring. 274,125 is not a nice number. So for people to easily understand things, sometimes they assign scores to share portfolios. In this case, they're giving it a score of 1,500 on day 1. We need to work out what score it would be on day 2, given it started at 1,500 on day 1. Well, we've already worked out that it decreased by 0.71%. So 100% it used to be, minus the 0.71% is going to be 99.29% of what it was on day one. What is 99.29 as a decimal? 0.9929 times by the 1500 score it used to be is $1489 and no, it's not dollars, it's just score, 1489.35. Therefore, the index on day 2 will be be 1489.35. Alright, so I believe that's the end of the practice test. Hopefully that helps you out, and I'll see you in the next video.